I ain't get no rest, cause I ain't get no rest. I ain't getting no rest. I ain't getting no rest, cause I'm going. I ain't getting no rest, cause I'm I ain't getting no rest. I ain't getting no rest. I ain't getting no rest, cause I'm going. I ain't getting no rest.
I ain't getting no rest, baby. I ain't getting no sleep. I got them gains, got them gains, got them get.
I ain't getting no rest, cause I'm I ain't getting no rest. Cause I'm going. I ain't getting no rest. I ain't getting no rest, cause I'm going. I ain't getting no rest, cause I'm I ain't getting no rest. I ain't getting no rest. I ain't getting no rest, cause I'm going. life.
You ain't gotta like it. You just gotta live with it.
Real life.
You ain't gotta like it. Look at what we did with it.
Real life.
You ain't gotta like it. You just gotta live with it.
Real life.
You ain't gotta like it. Look at what we did with it.
Real life.
You ain't gotta like it. You just gotta live with it.
Real life.
You ain't gotta like it. Look at what we did with it.
Real life.
You ain't gotta like it.
Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Our trade from last night, I already took profits on. So if you were in last night on that 15-minute flag, we nailed it. Got a little less than I wanted when I desired, but hey, it played out nonetheless. Shout out to all my beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Hey, Tony in the back there. Let's get the music up and running there. Hey, stop eating those Funyuns. Shout out to all the awesome people here on the live. Thank you for being here. This is the Crypto Lifer Show. My name is Sam Price. We start every day at 10:10. You know, I did something I never do today. I didn't run the countdown. I don't know why. My finger slipped or something happened. And I'm just going to cry tonight for all the people that didn't come to the stream because they didn't see it was a countdown. Let's start the show. God bless everybody here on the live. Thank you for being here and sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. I pressed the wrong button again there. It's been a long night. Let me go here. Here we go. Shout out to all my beautiful people. You didn't miss out on a short. You are the opportunity. I never use the word miss because you know why? I never miss anything. You know why? Because God put me exactly where I'm supposed to be. I took my long this morning and I got paid. You know what I mean? And then I took a scalp long too and got paid. And so it is what it is. I'm excited. I think there's, you know, when I see volatility, when the market moves around, I can dance, right? And I want to dance in front of you today, meaning like live trade dance, whatever you want to call it. So let's kind of break down what we saw earlier today on the 5-minute, even on BitConnects, you know? So the second we got above this 200 MA, I saw this little flag here, right here. And this is my model. And I even put it out to the trading group. I said, I'm going to long this. And I sold right there. They brought it down, brought it back up again. But I just took this little scalp. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a big shot. That's all I needed. And I take about, when I don't even try to get 90%, I take like 70%. I move my stop loss below that candle right there. And they wicked me out right here. And I was able to take gains of the trade. So everything played out as we needed. Blessings on blessings to everybody out here on the live. So that's the first thing I gave to the trading group. Okay. And then I talked about how the 1 minute was losing the 200 MA. And right here, when we were right there, I said, watch out, we're losing the 200 MA. And then we got a nasty little dump. Got a lot of fear in the market. They got everyone to free. They got everybody all over the place right now because they're just in shambles, you know. People that didn't get in are emotional. You had to be prepared. Who here bought $84,000 Bitcoin in front of the world? Hey, you can pat yourself on the back when you take huge risks. Like I could have been laughed at and called a clown too, so I'm going to relish in the win. You know, no offense. But look, that's a bit of a Sammy cup and handle. That's an inverted head and shoulder, is it not? Bit of a shoulder here, a head, a right shoulder, bit of a cup with a handle. Sammy cup and handy to the upside. I draw a fib there, and 618. I mean, yeah, it's pretty close to the 618, but not, you know, not ideal. I don't know why it flew it to the right side, bit too next. But anyway, am I going to live trade this? If we got above the 200 MA, there's possibly another live scalp here. So I keep my mind open to opportunity. I have no idea what's going to happen for sure, but I am open to opportunity. Anything can happen. We'll keep it, you know, we'll keep it as such. So Miguel about to get liquidated. Who is Miguel? Shout out to Jennifer Moffitt. I love you, Jennifer. You're always supporting me. Wow, man, the people that constantly support me, because without you, Jennifer, you people are like concrete between the bricks, man, and you keep the wall together. All different people come in and out of the stream. Those are the different bricks, but the concrete are the people that are always here. You guys are the wire frame, the main frame. You know what I mean? You're the structural steel. Like my dad built the structural steel of the building. You guys are the structural steel. Without my structural steel, I got nothing. So to everyone that comes out here on this live every single day and builds that structural steel, that mental structural steel. And, you know, we're going to, you know, basically vicariously live through my dad who built structural steel. He was an iron worker. He built structural steel. Understand? Sweet, just absolutely ripping. We talked about it right here yesterday. My target is 311. Favorite band when I grew up. They were awesome. I could see this thing continuing, going all the way up to 3.11. 311. I like what I'm seeing there. Oh, I remember zooming out. Probably zoom back in a little bit. Yeah, there we go. But no, exercise, run around, you know. I got pants on. I wear pants. I actually wear pants. I know. Unbelievable. I'm not Kevin O'Leary. Okay, so Sweet banging to the upside. I love it. And that thing, I see it just continuing to dominate. People are FOMOing. They wish they got in. I told you I was continuing to buy Sweet. It was one of the only things I trusted because the charts told me it was strong. You compare the chart to every other chart in the game, and it's better than the other charts, you buy it. You get what I'm saying? The technical analysis is awesome because it gives you confidence to buy the right coin at the right time. You compare the chart, you know, if technical analysis has good probability, which I know it does because I back tested it, so then I know that's true. So I don't go against that. I'm like, okay, technical analysis has good probability. Check. We got that checked off, all right? So we move through conviction and belief, right? We have to, otherwise we got nothing. So the first thing we know is technical analysis works. How do we know? We have to put in the time in the work. After years of doing it, you're going to know the TA does in fact work. You're going to know. What am I doing over here? I got a glow. But you're going to know that it works. There we go. You're going to know that the TA works. All right? Yeah, just a little hot on the... Thank you, Bobby. Hey, Bobby. No, we still got it, Bobby. We got to bring it down, Bobby. There we go. Okay, so here we go. So, you know, once you understand technical analysis works, you're like, yes, it works. I'm cool with it. Then you go, okay, what's next? You're like, well, then I'm going to look for TA across the entire market. And if I see something that has better TA than the rest of the market, I'm going to be more apt to buy that, right? Yeah. So let's just say, like a lot of coins were like this. They had come up and they were here. Like Sui had come up, come back down, come up, and like Sui was like this. Like Sui still had a high low. Sui was still in an uptrend, so it told you there was no reason not to buy it. See what I'm saying? Other coins were not in an uptrend. They still needed to make a higher low. They were down. I mean, they were good bargains. They'd probably be better to buy the lows. I'm just saying, but if you wanted to guarantee win, Sui was the one. You see what I'm saying? And then yesterday I said this can go parabolic. And then it even made a flag after it went parabolic. And it's just simple stuff here that I teach to my students. And again, you can get the simple teachings. I teach it May 10th. This class will be amazing. It will be live. You'll catch me live in the morning, Saturday morning, 9 a.m. to 12. Can't wait to see you there. We'll be hanging out. We'll be doing our thing for $150. You're going to get the gems of gems from a guy who's been doing this for 20 years. Get downloads of information that you wouldn't believe from the lifer. Sorry, that music to me was a little loud, a little racy. And we want to get back into Larry Poppins here and see what Larry's got for us. Shout out to Larry Poppins making the hits. Banging on him to the upside. So sweet. Looking beautiful. Let's get back into Bitcoin. It's a little slumping down though. And Bitcoin not able to get back above that 200 MA. That's why, I used to trade this cup and handle all day long. And I would lose. I learned to never long until we break the 200 MA. See? And wait for the 21 to cross even. Because that's my, it just gives me way low risk. Like today, we were above and the 21 was touching, so I made the trade. And I made money on the trade. It's a bit of a shoulder, head, right shoulder, right? There was a cup and handle there. See, this cup and handle was different than that. So someone's like, I learned your cup and handle, but it didn't work out for me. But like this cup and handle, the handle was above the 200 with the 21 touching. This handle was below the 200 with the 21 kind of in a downtrend. You see what I'm saying? The 21 was actually, it was the opposite. If you flip it upside down, it was actually the opposite because the 21 was on the other side, which is actually the model this way. You know, it's kind of interesting, right? So I trade, you long when you get above the 200 MA, you short when you get below it. This morning when we got below it, I told everybody, and if you can look at my trades, you're like, how does this guy know? And I cut off all my trades way before the dump. I know I'll do our thing, but I won again today and I'm chilling until I see a better option. Like I took all my money out the table there. 9:55. We started to dump a few minutes later. And then it was, I could just, you get the sixth sense. And I did put out a more bullish update this morning. Things look bullish. But you got to watch what I'm doing. I have no idea what the market's going to do, but I will react to it. And how I react is the information. That's what you really want. Is the reaction of whoever you're, the leader, whatever you want to call the trader, the head trader, whatever the person is. So, I wouldn't be surprised if we start getting some pullbacks, though. Let's break it down. Let's talk about what happened here. I mean, that's a monster move away for the 21-day moving average. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. Yes, we got a beautiful pump to the upside here. But, and again, if you look at it, it's really just an inverted head and shoulder, right? It's a cup and handle. Cup and handles explode. And to me, that would be a great time to take profits on a swing, or B, just chill out. Like I wouldn't be going so crazy. Look how far we are from the 21-day moving average. They're going to have to come meet each other at one point. Now, could we go uptrend? I've seen that, but it's very rare. It's more likely we go down somewhere here. We did tap 305, 306, so we got pretty dang close to the target. You would have to make sense to me. Now, it would be cool if we could stay above resistance at 295. But that could even be 2 or 3 days of, that could be 1, 2, 3, 4. That could be 5 or 6 days of downward pressure. You see what I'm saying? It would be nice. You don't want to go up forever. You keep going up, the crash is even worse. Look, you didn't even crack the 200 MA on SWE. You did for Bitcoin, but not on SWE. SWE's like a week behind Bitcoin. Remember when Bitcoin did this just a week ago? Eventually, now it's above the 200 MA. 200 MA is a great place to take some profits. It's a great place where things begin for monster moves. So for me, I see a big breakout for sure. We bought as much SWE as we could between $2 and $2.20, $2.40 at the moment. I stopped buying it around there. So you're in the money if you did anything that I did, which was buy SWE between, and if it went below $2 too, it was an absolute bargain, something that had to be considered. So again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I'm saying you should be taking as financial advice. I'm just a guy that drinks out of a doing damage mug. And that's it. That's all I do. Blessings to everybody out here on the live. Thank you for being here and sharing your most precious asset, and that is your time. May God bless everybody on the live stream, on the live stream. It's a big one. We got a lot of people here. Thank you for everybody coming on out to the live. We appreciate each and every one of you. 95,100 subscribers and counting. 95,133 subscribers today We are maximizing the potential of the stream. We're gaining momentum every single day. We're helping each other stay razor sharp focused in our trades. I saw a lot of people pay themselves. The things I saw in the stream today were absolutely out of control. In the trading group, I mean, like people were making thousands of %. It was insanity. Like I've never seen anything like it. People do things that I'd probably never, or sometimes choose not to do, but I just think it's amazing, right? So let's break it down. Let's see what's happening. And let's talk about, just kind of what we're seeing. So sweet, really, the top coin up 24% in the last day, 42% in a week. JASMY ripping too as well, up 17%. Floki up 32%. Bonk showing signs that the Solana altcoins will still continue to rip when Solana rips. XCN back to 2 cents. We got into that early in the mini bear market, whatever you want to call the pullback. Near up 23. All the hot coins about 10, 20%. Even Chainlink getting down at 14.85. Jupiter back up 29%. And I'm just seeing gains all around. I like what I'm seeing here. Say up 14% as well. Wow. I'd stay away from Mantra. I'm just done, man. So I saw it for so long, too, for a long time. I remember when it first ever came out a long time ago. Solana 19%. And so you could see the things that I'm just kind of solid on. Doing great. And then there was a lot of little coins. We talked about Farcoin over and over again to the point of no return. Went over Turbo yesterday. Turbo did have a beautiful day. Almost every coin went up. I mean, it was one of those days where the entire market ripped. It made you feel like this is what a bull market would be. Days on days, just a lot of days. First thing I want to talk about is Alchemist AI ripping out the flag up 37%. And it's not a lot of people know about this coin. I got into it very, from one of my students. Astrowave, shout out to one of my students, put me on it, back in not too long ago. Unbelievable. And I still hold this thing. And it's back to its all-time high. One of the few coins, like if you look at it on the daily, back to its all-time high. Astrowave. Anyway, let's get into BTC. I know people are antsy for the Bitcoin update. In my trading group, we already kind of broke it down. And I'm just hungry. I want to see what's happening on these smaller time frames to see if there's opportunity out here. People are buying the dip. They're FOMOing for this $93,000 Bitcoin. Remember, I bought 84K. Pretty sweet deal if you think about it. Okay, so I'm going to start with my top-down analysis like I do every single day here. If you're new on my channel, we go from the weekly all the way back. That's what's called a top-down analysis. So you get a really thorough look at Bitcoin every single day on the channel. What most people will do once a week, or maybe they'll do a recorded video. We kind of encompass that here on the channel every morning. Show you what's happening, what's cracking, right? Okay, so the first thing we want to see is that we're in this kind of falling wedge here that broke to the upside. And again, I'm a simpleton when it comes to trading. I like the fact that I keep it very simple. Falling wedges break up 68% of the time. Okay, so this falling wedge was supposed to break up 68% of the time. That's what I'm looking for. It has a big measured move. The algorithmic move is that wick to this wick, and it's the bigger move that you could see somewhere to $34,000. There you go. This wick to that wick right there is my algorithmic measured move. And that tells me it goes somewhere to about $135,000. If we stretch it out and it takes a little longer, it could take till September 8th or 9th. First day of school for some kids here. But let's just kind of break down the weekly candle and what we got so far and what we may receive by Sunday night, right? And that's what we do every single day here. We go over that weekly candle. We break it down. We show you what matters. We show you what's significant. And I put my money down too when I believe we're in a pretty hot spot. So the thing you want to see, we really were looking for, because the last week we did not, was to get above this resistance. You can see where this candle actually opened was $86,082. So we needed a candle to close on the weekly above 86,000. That was really it, right? And once we got that, we could begin to build. And we knew once we got that, then we could come for this resistance. Now, was it going to happen on one candle? Who knew? Maybe it was going to happen in 2 or 3. It could have taken 4 weeks. It took a week. Awesome. And we wicked into, you know, the unknown zone here, right? The resistance zone, where the high volume node lies, the point of control. We got through the beautiful gap in the VRVP. If you trade gaps in the VRVP, this is not a surprise to you. If you trade the 200 MA on the daily, none of this is a surprise to you. If you trade the way I trade, none of this is a surprise to you. Okay? We went over this day in and day out on my channel. I put my money down at 84,000. Even I bought another boatloads of Bitcoin between 74 and 84. You know, so I did get a little bit nibble at a 74 level, 74.8, 880. But not a lot. I'm not trying to say I got 74,000 by no means. It was crazy, but that's a lot of fear. You got to buy the fear, you know. And then a lot at 78,000, 79, and a boatload at 81. I got a nice big chunk at 81,000 too as well. So we'll see where that goes. I believe they're 10-year buys for my daughters, and that's how I look at it. So this is hidden bullish divergence. I just want to break out the indicators for a split second here. Number one, the MACD's turning, about to get across. That's like the last time the weekly was about to get across, we went on a massive tear. And I love when you get a big green candle before the MACD even crosses. It tells you usually there's going to be a bigger move. So here let's go over the last three MACD crosses. All right, we had one. That one was but we had 1, 2, 3, and this will be the fourth like major one. And so the first one here is like, you know, nil. It's the end of it's when the bear market's still making a lower low. But after that, I mean, this cross right here, huge pump. This cross right here, huge pump. And we're about to get our third cross in a row here on the MACD of the weekly. RSI also came to that low area, 42. It never gets really to the, you know, really this oversold until the end of the rally. So that's another reason why you knew you weren't really in a bear market. I also kept saying, look, I'm a trend analysis guy. You had a low, you had a high. You had a higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. I said, I'm not in a bear market until we break 54,000. I said it over and over again. I said, how can you be in a bear market if you're in an uptrend on the weekly? Yeah, altcoins didn't perform as well, so people believed we were bearish. But like Bitcoin, you know, if Bitcoin lost its trend line and did what's called a bump and run, okay, then it started making, look, shoulder, shoulder, head. I told you guys, then I'd be bearish. Then it would take out this low, and then we'd have to decide, like, okay, we're in a bear market. But Bitcoin never did that. And so when everyone kept getting bearish, I just kept coming to the channel every day and saying, but we're in an uptrend. Like, that's a higher low on the weekly. I said with oversold and hidden bullish divergence. I said on top of it, I am a Fibonacci trader. Like, I could just trade Fibonacci with nothing else. And you can clearly see that buying the 618 golden pocket right there would have given you the perfect buy for a pump to the upside here for Bitcoin. And I pointed this out day in and day out. And I bought it spot. I bought as much as I could spot as the wick came back up on the day. The crazy thing is when the fear was the highest, we got low. The fear was 10. We went to like 84, 82 or something. The fear was at like 12 or 13 when we went to 74 at 78,000. For whatever reason, wait, was it 74? I'll look at it. But for whatever reason, the low of the candle was 74.5. But for whatever reason, and I meant to say 74.5, not 78.5 earlier, but I'm tired. Anyway, no excuses. But anyway, so 72, fear and greed. The point is, it went to 10. I bought the 10 when we went to 10. The whole point is, when this got to the lowest price, I was loading up on Bitcoin. When we were in heavy fear, I still think, man, come on, we should be at 50. How are you going to fly to 72 so fast? But price action did get pretty, you know, pretty up there pretty quick. So we had a boom. Everything played out the way it was supposed to from the lifer. You know, a lot of people will be joining the trading group and wanting to know what I did. I don't sell an indicator, right? And no offense to anyone that does. I'm just going over my business. I don't mean to hurt anyone else's. I'm sorry. I always feel weird when I make my own statements, but I don't sell any indicators. I just show you the indicators you can use for free here on TradingView using moving averages, MACD, RSI, and the stochastics RSI, along with the VRVP. And if you know these things you can use to become amazing, and you can add them to any chart anytime. Really, they have widgets for them too as well. Wow, 92,000 for Bitcoin. So you can see losing that 200 MA. We'll see though. There could be a long here. You never know. I'm not done with my top-down analysis. Let's see what's happening. People are shorting, making gains on those shorts though. Congratulations to the shorts. So that's a bullish engulfing candle. It's going to close above resistance. That's all we need. It looks like we may, you know, what we don't want to see. We don't want to see this, you know, wick all the way half down and close like a bearish, you know, basically a bearish hammer. Like that's not going to be good. So we'd like it to, basically, I'd like it to close above 92K, 92.5 really, because that way, that would keep the wick from being too substantial, preferably. Let's take a look at the 5-day chart and see what's happening on the 5-day. The 5-day coming out nicely out of the flag to the upside as well, and absolutely beautiful. Let's look at the 3-day chart. And remember, how many times did I draw this for you? I'm a simple guy. Why do you think I bought Bitcoin where I did? Why do you think I put so much money in it when I did? I didn't have a choice. Don't you understand? If you can't buy the highs, then what can you buy? But everyone said, Sam, when you bought 84,000, what if it went lower? I had the guts to be wrong. You see what I'm saying? People respect you when you have the guts to be wrong, man. I have the guts to show you what I did. That's the beautiful, and I've done it before, and every time I remember the day I did it. I'm sitting here. It's a Saturday morning live stream. Out of nowhere, my mind's like, I see I have a bunch of money, and my mind's like, just buy the Bitcoin, man. And I'm like, what? And it's like, take advantage of it. I said, the fear's at a 10, man. I said, show the world what the right thing to do is right now. I said, you're not a financial advisor. Nothing you're saying you should be taking the financial advice, but show the world what you're doing. You've done it many times. You bought the bottom. I said, do it again. This little voice came to me. It was like next thing you know, my hand was hitting it. And although I had not even planned it, my hand's hitting it. And I'm like, everyone here's at 80. I'm buying $84,000 Bitcoin. You know, insane. And again, yes, I started with on a night shift. Dear Lord, thank you for everything in which you have given me in my life. Amen. Like blessings on blessings, like seriously. But look, this is a double bottom of the 3-day chart. I don't mean to brag. I want to let you know that I came from, I built it from nothing, $500 at a time. I worked a night shift for 6 years of my life from 7 p.m. Really, I got into 8 a lot, but 7 p.m. to 3 in the morning. It wasn't an easy road for me. I didn't always have what I dreamed. I lived in a 1-bedroom apartment for 11 years. Rent controlled, I went without all the time. I wore the same jeans, same hoodie. I worked a night shift. No one saw me. It didn't matter what I wore. So this is a double bottom. We could break all the way up here to the point of control, 97,250. But I just, I don't want to see a lot of wickage here too on the 3-day chart. I want to see this close clean. 1 day and 10 hours. We got some time here after this pump. But the beautiful double bottom, I mean, that's beautiful. So far, Bitcoin kind of in line with the technical analysis doing exactly what it was supposed to do. And here we are on the daily now. And the one thing you got to say is, if you know my strategy and you backtest with me and you're with me all the time in your mind, you know that the daily is just a little far away from that 21-day moving average. Now, there's a chance the daily could continue to rip here. But it almost looks like that scalp this morning on the 1 minute may have been it. That may have been the last kind of, I bring out almost every bit of it. And then because I can see then when I can't scalp anymore. See, my subconscious mind scalps so much that when I can't scalp anymore, then it's obviously we're probably going to go the other way. And then I know we're away from the 21. So this is what I'm looking for Bitcoin, all right? I see resistance here at this high volume node. I mean support here. And it's mainly at about 87,000. I would like to see Bitcoin not lose this support here. So we'll get rid of this. Still a lot of lines. But the first support we're looking at for Bitcoin is where these two candles have hit resistance. Previous resistance shall become support. We shall get a bounce from 90,780 for BTC. This could take 7 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just like I said here, remember, I started this here and I told everyone this could take a few days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Look, that was 8 days. So there's a chance. And again, if we're very bullish, we'll uptrend the flag. These two things are both possible. We could uptrend the flag, but the fact that we're this, usually you uptrend the flag when the 21's here. We're a little too far away from the 21 for uptrending, in my humble opinion. And that's another thing I backtested over years. How far you are for the 21 determines usually the pattern you'll make. When you're extended, it's almost 90% you're going to make a falling wedge. When it's a little higher, it's more likely you're going to make the lateral pattern. Why is that? Because it's just how the 21 interacts with price action. I can't explain it. I just know it now. And you don't want to challenge all this stuff. You just want to take it and use it to your benefit. What I'm teaching you is just how the markets work. It's not my opinion. It's not something that you'll find all this to be true. People call it the period, the 21 period moving average, whatever. I call it the 21-day moving average. But the period, because it could be any, I guess that's the 21 period moving average because It's on any time frame, like the 5, the 7. So it depends on what period you're using, right? I guess. Yeah. I bought my first Bitcoin money I earned from pushing carts at the grocery store. I love hearing that. God bless you. I milk cows twice a week. We all start somewhere. I love twice a day. I love that, man. One leg more to 95K on the 1 hour time frame. There's a chance. There is a chance. But so I'm looking for the daily, to kind of make a soft landing here at about 90,900. That would be the most likely scenario for me. It might dip a little bit too. They might play some games, make an inverted head and shoulder. You never know. Could be an 87.5 Bitcoin one more time. It's been known to give us some action lately. So the daily, I do see a probable pullback to the 21-day moving average. I would like us not to lose 90,900. And even one of my good friends, man, that I grew up with, who, when I started trading, was a little like, I don't know, and he's like, Dan, that long day for you. I'm just logging in. Oh, yeah. But he was like, he said, hell of a pump we got today. You called it exactly how it played out. It's one of my good friends. He texted me. And I love that because he's new to the group. He's only been in the group like a month, And so I just like seeing that. That's confirmation to me. It's not someone that because people that know you are a little more critical than people that don't know you. People that meet you online, oh, we love you. I'm not saying I love all the, the lifers give me real praise. But like when your good long-term friend joined the group, it's like, man, you called it. I'm like, God bless you, brother. Shout out to my buddy Lance, man. I love you, Lance. All my heart and soul, man. You're the best, brother. So nice to see you. I moved to his hometown, and then my friends now come home, and I get to see them. My friends that grew up in the New York City. So what's bullish about this? We're above the 200-day on the 22-hour time frame. Very bullish sign. Again, this is my model. Can we make some type of bull pattern, bull flag, without losing the 200 MA here and catch back up to the 21-day moving average? It tells you that we're gonna have some sideways price action. We're gonna, and there's also a chance that we just get a nasty dump all the way back down, and we're somewhere back at 88,002. I wouldn't want to see that. I'd like to see a soft landing. Anything is possible. How will we know? Well, we'll start losing the 200 MA on the 1 hour, the 15. Other time frames will let me know, and I'll teach you this. You'll understand what I know. So this is also looks. I like the 12-hour too. I'd be watching the 12-hour time frame. I'd put the 12-hour time frame up. What's weird about trading is sometimes different time frames are used for different days. Like some days I'm using time frames that I'm not using for a long, I won't use them for a few days. But like today, the 12 hours is something I would be watching. I haven't used it in a while, like on a day-to-day intraday basis. Today I'd be watching the 12-hour time frame. It has a little more indication because of how close that 21 and the 200 are. You can see the crunch happening, that Bollinger Band effect with those two indicators, with how the 200 and the 21 kind of connect to each other. It's not on price like the Bollinger Band, but it's near price and very similar to a snapping, alligator there. And what I mean is these get close. And the mouth starts to get close between the 21 and the 200 MA. All right. So I'd be watching your 12-hour pretty closely, your 8-hour too. But see, the 8-hour wants to come back to that 21-day moving average. Same story here, morning glory. You start painting this picture, and then you finally got, you've had a beautiful move, and you got a tweezer top there. That closes in 1 hour. So when the 8-hour candle closes there, that's going to be a bearish engulfing candle on the 8-hour. You're away from the 21. You got to start understanding that that's likely going to be a pullback for Bitcoin. All right. It's just how the markets work. I'm sorry. Everyone wants it to be up only after euphoria. We had a beautiful punch, everybody. We waited for days for this consolidation. We got a monster move. It's a huge asset worth trillions of dollars. Like, for this to move like this, a lot of money comes into the market. It's got to take its time to shift and ebb and flow. This is the world's money we're watching really moving into Bitcoin. And it acted like a risk off on asset for the first time when the rest of the market wasn't amazing, but Bitcoin still trucked through to the upside. I do see some pullback. Bitcoin sitting now at 92,785. And shout out to the 2,000 people here on the live. $20 in chat revenue, 413 likes. May God bless everybody here on the live that shares their beautiful asset with me, their time. Thank you so much for the time you spend with me on this live. I appreciate it more than you would ever know. The 4-hour back to the 21-day moving average yet again too as well. So it just, and then you could even pull a fib from maybe even this impulse if you want to be. And you can say there's a 618. So you got to start looking at 91,250. And that level that I pointed out about 90,500, right? So yeah, I mean, it looks to me like we're going to be getting some type of pullback here. Now you got a 4-hour tweezer top. And it just, what goes up must come down. We had a beautiful pump. So, and I sold all my trades this morning too, even my scalps. So I didn't take a beating. I didn't go down. There was no need of it. We had monster gains the last few days. Don't give your gains back. Relish in your win today. Some people are like, I have to short now. Maybe you do. Maybe that's your thing. I'd even pull a fib from this impulse. It says, hey, you got to start looking at 89,000. So 89,000. So 90,006 is coming up at 89,000, like 250. That might be the wick zone we bounce off of. So a pullback is likely here because of the 21-day moving average. You just can't get that far away from it. And I could be wrong. In 2 seconds, we could start to fly and pump out of nowhere. There's a 1 or 2% chance that happens, but it's very unlikely. There's more of a 90% chance we go back to the 21-day. I backtested it. I know this is more 90% likely, so you do whatever makes you happy, but I'm just showing you what's likely going to happen here for Bitcoin. So honestly, a short probably would be the best, scenario here. Would I short it? No, I don't like to short Bitcoin after huge rips. I like to relish in my wins and just wait for, plan out my next long. But, if I see a scalp short, I'll take it. But I'm not going to short it. But but why not, Sam? It's going to go to the 200 MA. I don't know. It's just not it's not my thing. I don't do it all the time. I execute my other model. I like it better. Shout out to R for Crypto. Haven't left you, Sam. So sorry. I remember you saying you were going to be in Sarasota, and I was supposed to reach out and see you. Are you still here? If you're here right now, I'm so sorry because I drew a blank. I've been traveling and so much is going on. I might have been traveling at the same time as you, though. I don't know. But I really wanted to see you, and I feel like I just got so much going on. If my team doesn't put it in front of me, I will forget. It takes an average of 2 to 3 full years to develop new skills and new talents. After that, someone could charge 50 to 70 per hour for their skills and then cash out and milk it. Hey, 100%. Equities take some of the liquidity today. Thoughts on Cookie Dow, Mr. Lifer? I mean, if it all going to come back, then Cookie would come back. I like you actually bringing up Cookie. Someone said, why short your spot bags? And let's take a look. You never know. We could still get lucky today. So let's take a look at what's happening here to Bitcoin in this crazy in price action. So you can see there's not a lot, the daily, the bigger time frames say pullback, right? And so now you just want to see the smaller time frames confirm that. Shoulder head, possibly make a right shoulder, so you kind of just like we wait for the left shoulder and then we go long. Same idea here. Do we make a right shoulder? So if the bears are looking for a short today, it looks like you could wait for that right shoulder, get in, and then take that puppy down. You can kind of project the trade before it happens. And it looks like it'd be a Bart Simpson. And yeah, and there's a gap in the VRVP. You'd head back somewhere here to 91,300. That would be the area you'd be looking to take some profits from. So this looks likely to me. There's a bearish divergence here as well on the RSI. Okay. The unlikely scenario is somehow we make a flag like so and we break out, which is still possible. I'm open-minded. And then we go to 99,000, we consolidate. But the thing is, you won't have, in 8 hours, we're either going to be sideways or making a right shoulder. You see what I'm saying? If we end up here somewhere and the 21's coming close to price and I would have to bend and take a long. Just like I did the other day when it looked funky right here, but I still took the long and we nailed it right there. Let me show you. It looked a bit weird. It looked like a head and shoulder. It was a bit odd. They got everybody to short that head. Look, they made a head and shoulder pattern and then they flattened everybody. And I long this because I'm just, I saw that we were above the 200 MA on the 4-hour time frame, and that's my. See, by using the 200 MA, I haven't been. They haven't been able to. Well, before I didn't use the 200 MA, they used to play with me a lot because I used to see things where I wouldn't be sure. Today, someone in the group was like, I see an inverted head and shoulder, but I see a head and shoulder. And I'm still, and I say, are you above? You know what I mean? All good. See you in Vegas. God bless you. That'll be awesome. God bless you, Arthur. Sammy Cup and Handy, we're likely to go back to the high before dumping. Yeah. I have a condo off Tarpon River, Lauderdale, Rio Vista area in more south. Lotta. Cool, man. Yeah, so we're looking for something of this nature here for Bitcoin. At least that's what I'm going for, right? You've been a major help to me. Been learning on my own, and your wisdom and belief is amazing. Shout out to Brandon Jacks. I love you. You got to believe in yourself, Brandon. Especially when you're on your own. Who else is going to be there for you? I made so much dough, Sam, Monday and Tuesday. The rest of the week is easy street. Learn how at CryptoLifer.com. We made dough on Sunday. We made dough on Monday. We made dough on Tuesday. Like, it was 3 days of just taking money. So, I mean, let's go, baby. Let's go. One of the best kind of 3 days of trading I've had in the group in a long time. I don't know why people aren't running into CryptoLifer.com, because it's like, it's kind of where the gains are, man. But go to CryptoLifer.com to find out more. You hit the link right here at the top of that pinned comment. We make it very simple and easy to find. And a beautiful website we procured for you, ready to go. And you can subscribe to a monthly, a quarterly, or an annual subscription. I'm here every single day. I'm giving you my mind. I go through the markets constantly. And we uncannily have some really good takes that play out very well. And it goes from altcoins to Bitcoin to you name it. We've had gains all across the board. I got elite traders inside the group too as well, scanning the market. If it's hot, we're going to find it. If it's out there, we will know about it. I think it's the best trading group in the game when it comes to an overall experience. Then every week we go over my entire account, show you what I'm doing, show you what's happening. I use token metrics constantly too as well. I share what coins I'm looking at there. That's an added bonus. There's so much benefit to hanging out with the lifer every day. And then just the fun, just the constant positive atmosphere and the ability to push yourself every day. And I'm around the best people because the best people join the group because they want to be amazing. So the 1 hour could bounce here. There's a chance. But we're looking, it looks to me like we could be making a right shoulder. So it tells me like I don't really need to make any crazy moves today. Possible scalps on the smaller time frames if they present themselves. So like, for instance here, starting to look like this could finally get busy. Now, usually I would never trade this below but they've already faked it once. Feels like there's going to be a pump here. But, you know, I'll have my patience. It would probably be an hour from here or get above, then the 20 will be crossing. And that'll be my model on a Wednesday, and I'll take it. Tic-tac-toe, right? No, but I'll take the model there if it pans out as such. Watch this flag on the 1 minute. You want to see if you can get back above the 200. That's the only way we're going to kind of begin to rebuild here. Bit of a double bottom, you know, almost an Adam and Eve, no? In a bit of a way there. But, you know, still heavy resistance. When you're below the 200 MA, I got to remain a little more bearish than bullish for Bitcoin. So all the time frames tell me we're going to dump. I would like us not to lose 91,349. The Hail Marys, you know, would be a little bit of a move here back to the upside, but it could still be the right shoulder. So I'm giving you 3 real possible scenarios for today. The most likely one is that we could continue to dump here, head even to the 50 on the 1 hour time frame. That would make sense to me. Or make the right shoulder and continue to dump. To me, those are the most likely scenarios. There is an unlikely scenario that we bounce here, get tight, form a flag, and then pump. And regardless of anything, even if we're bearish or bullish, there's still the good chance that we could scalp just this move here today, regardless, you know, because it could be the head, it could be the right shoulder that it's making, it could be the bounce that it's making. It doesn't really matter to us. We could cross the 200 MA on the 1 minute with the 21 and get our model. So there's a chance I can play my model in this little area later on today, if I so choose. And to me, that's kind of the only, you know, the only long I would be considering, besides a bigger long when we kind of consolidate here and go for the bigger move to 98 or $100,000, right? So again, I'm telling you the 3 scenarios. I have no idea what's going to happen. I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. But in my lifetime, it kind of looks like this is the most likely based on what I've been doing in my life, but you never know. All right. I want to join, man. Do you accept EBT? Oh, yeah. Come on, man. Shout out to Johnny Voris. God bless you, brother. Hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope it feels good to hear your name. Sunny Little Tree. God bless you, brother. Shout out to Teddy Bear. I got the same vibes during that read on my charts. I got the same vibes dumping that read on my... Yeah, exactly. Bitcoin dominance. Wow. Yeah. Sell under 94.2428. What a day. Yeah. So then we move to the 15. And again, falling wedge could break up. But look at that, kind of looks head and shouldery too. You see that? Look at this shoulder, head, right shoulder there. And he kind of had a right, shoulder, shoulder, head, shoulder, shoulder, dump. You can see that. It was a shoulder, shoulder, head, shoulder, shoulder. A lot of wickage. The battle right now is crazy. Let's go to the 7-minute time frame. Someone said we were battling the 200 MA, and yes, we are. So the 7-minute is 10 to holding us down. Let's take a look at the 5. Yeah, so we lost the 5, but the 7-minute 200 MA. Remember, I used to use the 7-minute all the time. I switch off a little bit more because beginners don't have it on, the futures charts, and I want to make sure people are on the same page. I was like, if I keep using the 7, they'll get frustrated, So you haven't seen me, but the 5, and honestly, even for me, because they didn't have the 7 on a lot of exchanges, so I had to conform, even though I didn't, I find the 7 gives me some insight that no other chart gives me. So you can see how there's some bearish, it was bearish divergence. And I pointed it out to, on my update too. I said, there's bearish div here. You're away for you got to know that you're extended. Every time you're taking a lot, even last night, you've got to, last night, this was the trade I gave. We got in right here with a stop below here, and it ended up playing out with a pump to 94,000, 94.5. And 94.5 is a key area of support and resistance. Shout out to Court Dama. Shout out to all the beautiful super chats here on the live. Let's call you guys out for being awesome. Shout out to Arthur Crypto. Shout out to Cryptic Rick. How about Tao? 5-minute cup and handle. I put that out yesterday. Take a look at that. Haven't left you, Sam. Just not chatty. God bless you. No worries. Yo, Sam. Chart TARS AI. Could this do 100x? Thank you. There's a chance. I did look at it. Shout out to John Blake. Shout out to Olaf. Shout out to Infinite Team TA. Blessings to you and yours, Sam. Shout out to Jacob Smith. Shout out to Colin. Render TA, please. Sammy, cup and handy. So we got to look at Render. We got to look at SNEC AWR. All right, Render, AWR, and SNEC. So we're looking for Bitcoin to bounce off the 200 MA here on the 7-minute time frame. If we get a candle to close below that, look for it to close this gap now, right back down. So it's key. The 7-minute will give us some insight. You get 2 or 3 candles to close in the 7-minute below the 200. You close the gap back down to these key areas. You're coming somewhere to 91.8. And it's likely that's what's going to happen today, in my humble opinion, but you never know. I don't know. You bounce here, you start to consolidate. A gutsy call would be to long right now. You know what I'm saying? For me, I ate too fat, so I don't need to chase. If I didn't eat as fat and I was hurting, maybe I'd want to get in, right? That's the key, too, about trading correct. When you trade correct, you're just free on the right day. Like people who didn't trade correct, like if you got wrecked yesterday, you're feeling weird today and you might overtrade again. It's so weird. Whenever I was on the wrong side of the trades, it would almost take me like a week or two because it's just the wrong side of the trading. You're almost like you're off cycle compared to the right side of the trade, See, what happens as a beginner is you buy, like yesterday, a lot of people just start buying here because they waited too long. So they start buying up here. Then their gains aren't that big. And so they hold. The next thing you know, they're down. And then this turns into a massive loss. But it was one of the biggest pumps for Bitcoin because you have to be ready before the pump. Honestly, this was all we needed. This was like one of the most perfect trades I've ever seen. And that flag was the same on the 1 hour as it was on the 1 minute. And it's very rare that you get that. Like the 1 minute showed the same flag as the 1 hour time frame. Like it was amazing. See? It was the same exact flag on both times. And that's only when things are very, very, very bullish. All right. And believe me, I've seen this stuff before. So I've got the cheat sheet to the market. My subconscious mind has banked all this information. I knew that because the 4 hour was above the 200 MA that we were likely going to rock it because I use the 200 MA religiously, like constantly. Like it's all I do. It's the basis of my entire trading. You hear me talk about it daily. 200, 200, 21, 200. How I use the 200 in tandem. Look, the golden cross right there. Had you bought just the golden cross right here? And I said golden crosses don't tell you you're going to pump immediately. You even dump after the golden cross. What they tell you is a week from now, you're going to be way higher than you are now. And that's what happened to Bitcoin. It all kind of planned out exactly as such. So to give you my insight today is to tell you I don't know what's going to happen, because if I told you it was going to happen, that would not be insightful. Amen. It will all make sense if you keep coming back. Technical analysis is not for the faint of heart. It's for the people that desire it more than the others. There's a hidden knowledge inside of TA that's waiting for you to uncover. But it's up to you to uncover it. Nobody's going to do it for you. I can teach you, I can show you. Just like they say that saying. You can bring a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. I cannot force you to drink the TA. To drink TA, and honestly, as funny as this is, you might be spitting out your coffee. You're like, what is this man saying? Drink TA, he's out of his mind. Yes, I am. My teaching ways are different, unorthodox, and strange. But they get to the heart and the core of people and the minds of men. And that's why I change so many people's lives, because I don't say what the normal person says. I will say something so outlandish and so ridiculous that it's ridiculous. It's just absurd. Right? But like, we're looking for, people that really, really want to change their lives. If you're ready for a life-changing moment, your mind will tell you you're ready. Once your mind decides you're ready, you will be ready. 100%. Your mind is in control of exactly where you are right now. A lot of people would fight me right now and say, no, my dad left me. No, my mom wasn't good to me. I have a boss that's bad. There's not much work in the town I'm from, and I had to stay here because I knocked up my ex-girl, and now I'm here because the kid. And they have all these external reasons why they can't get ahead, why they're not where they want to be. If you're not telling you that you're the reason where you are, you're going to have a harder time in life. Let me say that again. If you're not telling you that you're the reason where you are, you're going to have a very hard time in life. I tell my daughter this all the time when she reaches out to external reasons for excuses, and I tell her, if you keep doing that, you're going to create a habit of excuse making that'll leave you powerless. I said, it's only going to hurt you. It's not going to hurt anybody else. Like nobody else. Excuses just, people say them to the people around them thinking that it's, and then I just, believe me, I used to be that person. I did it for years. I'm not saying I was free of it, but I'm done doing it. And I watch when I talk, and I watch how I speak, and I know that I am the reason. I'm the reason I have a YouTube channel. I'm the reason when I didn't have a YouTube channel and I worked a night shift, that was me. That was the reason. It was me. Right? So you got to blame yourself for if you're losing trades constantly, it's your fault. It's not your mentor. It's not the indicators. It's not the market maker. It's you. You don't have a plan. You don't map it out. You don't sit there and really tell yourself, this is what I'm going to do and do it. You just kind of wing it. And when you wing it, that's what you get. You get winging. Like whatever happens, happens. All right? Trading is not for the people that are just going to wing it. You got to trade your plan and plan your trade, or you're going to be part of the market maker's mesh of liquidations. All right? Yeah. So Bitcoin, and again, I'll get to the altcoins right now, but it's crucial times. It looks like, for me, kind of descending vibe here. I see a bit of a descending triangle kind of starting to form. They also break to the downside, like straight down. And the smaller time frames are starting to confirm. We may not even get that right shoulder. But these smaller time frames are starting to confirm a possible break to the down, more downside here for Bitcoin. And now you're below that 200 MA on the 7-minute time frame. Very bearish. Kind of a rising wedge vibe too. And this is good. When Bitcoin pumps like this, you want to see some of the money flow back into the altcoins. So we're going to take a look at Bitcoin dominance right now. Shout out to anyone that got into the Caspa call. Caspa, K-A-S, CAS. We got in there at 0.77. It ripped all the way back to 10 cents. And that's a 27% gain for Caspa. And from the bottoms, it ripped too. And that's why I love having things on hardware wallets just far away from you, so you can't panic sell them. You just can't get at them even if you wanted to, right? What about the 15-minute 200 MA semi? That's another thing that we'll be looking at. Yeah, that's a place where we're likely going to drop to. You can see there's a huge gap here too. So 91.5 is coming. I mean, boom, right? I'm not saying, and I can't guarantee it. We could bounce. That's why I'd rather just wait for the right time to long. Well, it does look like a short is in order, though. That's an M pattern right there. M's break down 68% of the time. Right, like no emotions needed. That's just going to dump. Defied the right shoulder too, like, you know, you have resistance now at 93,250. And that, it has that descending triangle kind of vibe to it. I mean, the bigger time frames are in my favor. Just not my model to short Bitcoin, you know what I mean? Like I put nothing in there. I just I don't got the passion for the short right now. Looks bearish as heck. I'll just let it sit, but take profit like somewhere down here. It's an M that's supposed to dump, but don't look good. So, just not. I love, you know, whatever. I'm a Bitcoin guy. Shorting it, you know, is always like, but whatever. You got to make money either way. So I see a dump now for Bitcoin likely. You know, we went over a bunch of different stuff. It just doesn't look that great. We'll see though. You might still get a tiny bounce. The one thing that's got me is the 1 hour is very oversold. But it could actually just continue to roll over too, though. I just would look for that right shoulder. Then they'd liquidate a bunch of people first and then keep the dump. So it'd be a chance for them to liquidate like the first short batch and then keep it moving, you know? So, and I've seen that game a few times. Look, now they're bouncing it. Look, what can I lose there? 30 to 33 bucks. Yeah, I got mixed signals right now. Like nothing, you know, I'm not like, you can totally see my strategy is telling me to chill. It's saying it can either bounce or dump at any second here. The 1 hour is pretty oversold though. So I'm kind of in, you know, I'm sitting there. I'm like, dude, 3 days of awesome calls and nailing it. I'll take a day when I'm just kind of in the middle. That's okay. It's going to happen to me once or twice a month. There's a day where my strategy tells me to chill. It's actually good. It means your strategy's working. It tells you days that you could short for sure, long for sure. And then it tells you days when it's like, you know, at the end of the day, it really is above the 200 MA on the 7 minute. You get back above it, then I would long. That would give me some like, okay. The OG in me wants a long right now. I'm like, long that long that sucker back to the upside there, boy. Right? It could be making some type of like funky inverted. I'm looking for this to consolidate on the 1 hour and possibly give us a pump. You never know. See, I'm open-minded that anything can happen. I don't know what's going to happen. See, everyone wants me to tell them what's going to happen. When they see that I'm in the middle, they're like, wait, he didn't say what's going to happen? No, I have no idea. Then how did he call Bitcoin? Because I trade the 21 on that daily. Like I trade the 200, you know what I mean? I just have rules. And when the rules play out, I take them. It doesn't mean, you know, then why do you long-term Bitcoin then long-term if you have no idea? Because I've studied history and I believe, you know, because these are the questions people ask. Because I studied history and I believe that they're going to continue to print fiat currency throughout time. People who use fiat, we call them poor. Such a funny track, man. Got to be hydrated to get through the day. Get those electrolytes from that coconut water. Cerebro, Nero, Memefa, and Miro. We'll take a look at those two. And my baby XCN. So let's take a look. So Bitcoin dominance is what I want to look at right now. So they got Bitcoin kind of hovering. Looks more bearish than bullish. It's below the 7 minute 200 MA. It's below the 5 minute. But it's getting a little overbought on the smaller time frames. I'm looking for a possible that right shoulder to be made on the 1 hour time frame. So even if we get a bounce, remember, keep that in the back of your mind. All right. And there was just monster gains. Never mind SWE. Never mind. There was just all sorts of coins that ripped to the upside. It didn't matter. Shorting all the 80% plus coins today. It's printing. Shout out to Crypto Gandalf getting that shorted. What do you think about AERO being highly undervalued? So I believe it's based on TVL. I think AERO is going to be huge. I've kept my AERO for a long time. I've added to AERO. I love AERO. I'm an AERO guy long term. We got an in at 37 at the very, twice it's peaked hot. And, I see this thing at least headed back to liquidity stages again. I mean, will I sell 240 this time? Probably. I mean, it's like we got there twice since I made the first call to AERO around 30 cents, and that thing has been ripping. So I like AERO drone as a long-term idea, though, with Coinbase, Sniffing. Oh my God, that's weird. It's been surrounded. Thank God I didn't finish saying that. Yeah, I know. Like, that would have made me, maybe I would have gagged too. Like, oh, gross. So someone asked about AWR, but I see Alchemist AI really continuing to rip. Target for there is 29 cents, and this thing is just on an absolute tear. And, non-coding, coding kind of thing, like that thing could be huge. And thank you for the super chats. We're going to take a look at AWR. I don't know what it is right now. Oh, yeah, all will retire. I remember that coin back in the day. Looked nice there, but just went flat. Kind of came back to where it used to be. All right, ripped up a bit from the bottoms. Right before the market dump, this coin had a little buzz going with it. Very small market cap. Hey, maybe it does it. I don't own any, so maybe it does numbers. Maybe I own a tiny bit. Like, I don't remember, though. I'd have to go in there. So I don't want to, I can't say, deny or confirm, but if it is, it's such a small amount that I don't even know. So I would have to say no. But man, I'd look for something like this cup and handle to form out. And I think it blasts to the upside. All will retire. It's got that elongated Adam and Eve. And I've seen this a few times play out. Pretty interesting. All these AI, Morph AI, all those coins. RAI is another interesting coin, though, on my radar. I still own some Reploy. They're all rounding. Can they start to make... Are we going to get a huge move in virtuals? Is everything going to bounce back? I believe that all ships rise with the tide, man. So, yes. Sam, long-term view on Moonwell for Coinbase. It starts to get good movement when the market rips up. I could see it do some numbers at one point. Let's take a look at AIOZ, one of my favorite coins in the game for DPIN. I think it's the DPIN king. Like, if you believe in DPIN in the future of Web3, which I believe is going to be AIOZ, then to me, it's all about, this coin is a must-have in the portfolio. Again, I am not a financial advisor. Beautiful inverted head and shoulder broke out. Again, everything's just going to have to find its way. We got some liquidity in the market. Great. We just moved away from the 21-day moving average. We just got to come back to it before our next bigger move. And just sad once you know how the market's... Not sad, but there's an element of mystery that gets taken away once you know how the 21 works. That's all I got to say. I know it might happen to you, but like I could see things in all this. Oh, well, you never know. Now I just... 90% of the time, I know we're going back to the 21 no matter what I want to think, believe, or feel. So it kind of takes, but again, there shouldn't have been that mystery to the game anyway. That was like a beginner's, a bad vibe for the beginner. But so I'm looking for AIOZ to make a beautiful flag there. If you're still looking for AIOZ to get in, I love it. Great coin, great project. I own it. I have it in my portfolio. I've had it since I've had it for a long time. So I gave this JASMY call. I believe JASMY was going to rip to the upside. It was the next in line. And I gave this beautiful call for JASMY. Entry, take profit, everything there. Take profit 1 has just hit. You can see on the wick. Chance you could stay all the way to take profit 2. I like to take my profits pretty fast, but shout out to anyone that jumped into this beautiful call on JASMY for gains at that 0.17461 area. And JASMY ripping to the upside. Again, I would be waiting for it to flag with this 21 on the 1 hour time frame. It might make a right shoulder with Bitcoin, right? You got to also watch Bitcoin. Bitcoin takes a tumble. Everything kind of responds. That's why we're going to take a look at Bitcoin dominance right now. See if we're going to get somewhat decoupling here and start to get the move the other way. And, you know, we're on it. The probabilities are in the charts, and we can chart Bitcoin dominance. We can chart Tether dominance. So we can start telling ourselves where the money's going to flow most likely in the macro. This is what it's all about. This is why we juxtapose the Bitcoin dominance and Tether dominance. Bitcoin battling this key area, not wanting to lose, see if it could still get a bounce here. Fighting the bears, attempting to hold this key zone. 7 minutes saying, no way though, I'm below that 200 MA. More pain, down to 91.585. What do you think about Aerodrome? Yep. And it does work, I guess, huh? And so JASMY, and let's take a look at Render and Sneck. Send in a super chat if you want me to go over your coin, talk about an idea, and break down something. So Render's a coin I just kept saying, hey, I mean, if it's down, it's just a steal. And I showed you that it was in a double bottom with a measured move to the 200 MA. I see Render headed to 563. It's just only a matter of time. It's not as far away from the 21 as Bitcoin is, you see, on the daily time frame. So I would start flagging it out. And you can even see that there's a little bit of bearish divvy there, though. It's pretty aggressive on the move. So two things. I would flatten out this flag. Give it some support and resistance. See if it can hold this previous support as resistance. Bitcoin tumbles. It's all going to take a fall. And maybe you have to get back into Render at 406. But I'd like it to see it go sideways here. And that's where the alert system comes in. We don't know when or what exactly what's going to happen. So we have projections where we set alerts. When the alerts get hit, our projections are filled. We can see what's happening. And then projections are probabilities because we know the probability of the flag we projected because I've studied it for years. So I know an entrance. And you'll be like, what are you saying, Sam? You're out of your mind. And I'd say, well, yes, then you're just not following me, but follow along. Everything I do is the same. All right. So everything I can teach you is how I do it. And so you're going to be like, okay, what do you mean by that again, Sam? You're talking in tongues. No, I'm going to fix it right now. So everything I do is what I show you, right? Is what I mean, you know? So here's the deal. When I'm on the 1 minute, say this was the 1 minute chart. You're going to see me do this a lot, right? And I'm going to say, oh, I'd like to see Bitcoin flag out here. I said, if it flags out, I'll take the trade maybe later on in the stream. You know, we've done this on the live stream all the time. I mean, that's a head and shoulder. That looks like it's going to dump. That looks like a guaranteed dump now at this point. Shoulder, head, right shoulder, descending triangle. Yeah, that looks bearish to me. I say we head to 91,231 here. Looks like a big dump is about to happen for Bitcoin. I could be wrong. I'd like to be wrong there. I'd love to be wrong right now. But so I project the flag and I say, you know, if it fills out the flag, then I know flags have the probability, a bull flag has a 68% chance. So you see what I'm saying? I studied all the patterns. People tell you patterns don't work. I don't know why. They must not want you to make money. So I studied all the patterns. I know them. So because I knew them now, I project them before they happen. And I know that if they get filled out, they have a probability, right? Because I've studied the patterns. And I know that, like, I knew this pattern had a 68% chance of breaking out. So I drew it before it happened. And I said, Bitcoin, you know, fill out the flag. And I knew it could take, look, and I looked at the pattern. You can even hold shift and go right. You can hold shift right here and go right. And it can say, look, that's going to take 7 days. You know, because you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's going to take some candles to fill out. So I knew somewhere around the date when Bitcoin was going to break out based on technical analysis. And I knew that the 21-day moving average would have to be kind of right next to price action. And so, like, I showed my whole entire group this and talked about it. And then on top of it, I coupled the 4-hour 200 MA and said, as long as the 4 hours above the 200, we're also good to go. Why? I've been using this for years. You know how many times I missed this? I was in a trade or I was watching an asset. I really wanted to get in. It got above the 400. I learned it. I said, that's bullish. And then I saw it rip and I said, I should have got in. Over 100 times. You have to. An expert is simply someone that made every simple mistake in a narrow field. Every time you feel FOMO, every time you feel pain, every time you go back in and leverage trade, every time you think you finish your day down $4,000 or something, whatever it was you thought you lost. Think about it. I've done it all 100 times more than you have. I've lost 100 times more than you. I've got beat 100 times more. I've taken such shillings you wouldn't believe. My whole account has gone all the way. You know, again, I haven't been liquidated because I didn't get heavy into leverage trading until I knew how to trade. So I didn't get heavy into leverage until I was, like, you know, pretty proficient at trading. So you know, but man, like, And look at that. I mean, Bitcoin back to the 4-hour time frame. That looks like a dumpage. And there it is. Look at the dump. I should have just went all OG style on that. But shoulder, head, and shoulder. I'm not here to be a big shot. I'm not here to make massive money in front of you and flaunt my wealth. I'm here to show you technical analysis play out. That's what I'm here for. All right. If I made 10 grand on this short, like, it would be great, I guess. But, like, I'm not here for that. I'm here to show you how that's a head and shoulder in a descending triangle. It was supposed to dump 68% of the time. So I was supposed to be right if I showed you the short. Okay? And it's just about continuing to win. I like being right, too. I don't really care about the money. I just want to be right. Bitcoin officially surpasses Google to become the 5th largest asset in the world by market cap. Bang. Rounded top, market maker, systematic, DCA. Yep. Patterns are the reflection of the market's power. They work and are real, 100%. Thank you, PMG, George Benderson. We love you, man. How can I buy and discount if it doesn't discount? Now you're funny. And there you go, baby. Back down to discount. Come hit my take profit. 91,004. And you could see what was going to happen because you're just too far away. And you have all the late longs that went long this morning. The people that just, you know, they FOMO in, man. And you have to wreck these late longs. Just how the market works. Okay? Just how the market works. Remember, taking small gains every couple of days is better than taking big hits. You know, I take huge moves when the time is right. And that was a pretty awesome short there. Look, shoulder. I mean, once that right shoulder got made, it was obvious. Let's see if we can go all the way to the target here. And then you can see on the bigger time frames, we're coming back to the 200 MA on the 4-hour time frame. The 21, I mean. We're coming back to that 21. The key is, can we hold 88,000? Can we hold 91,000? I'd like it if we have some support in here. You see? 89.6 makes a lot of sense to me. And, you know, pull your fib. That hits the 618. The 786 is 88, 89,000. So nothing goes up forever, my friends. There will be a pullback. And you can always move the stop loss to break even so you can't lose money, you see? It's not about being amazing. You just take it in your gains. Protecting the purse. I'd rather get stopped at break even 10 times and then have one trade play out. Pay a little bit of fees and never have no losses. See, I perfected the way of having smaller losses and just consistently gaining. Sneck and Tars AI. Let's take a look at Sneck and Tars. So prepare for a likely, you know, look, there's some bearish div here. Look where this is in the 4-hour time frame. And see, this isn't that far away from the 21. So this is what's telling me that and that's why we got to look at, hold on, we got to take a look at Bitcoin dominance. So it pumped out the rising wedge. Now it's like meandering a bit. I mean, that almost looks to me like it's going to just do a bullish retest, right? And remember, the dips are for buying when Bitcoin's ferocious. See, what's going to happen is Bitcoin pumped and then dipped a lot the last few weeks. So now everyone's going to think this is one of those same dips. If it gets back up real quick and starts to rip, everyone's going to be like, what? But that's what is supposed to have been happening the whole time. It just took a lull. So you got to remember, when the bull market starts back up, that Bitcoin's going to do what it used to do. It catches a lot of people off guard really fast. You see what I'm saying? Because they're not used to that. Like if it eats this wick up in a couple days, it's just gonna be like, what? You know? And there you go, Bitcoin dumping. As projected in the live stream here. Another live trade given. I can show you how we can short, we can long. We can show you how to make gains no matter what. It was a pretty Sally short. I'll give it to you. But this isn't my model per se. I just took a high percentage play, right? Big liquidity at 91.95 and 90,000. I'm waiting for entry. Shout out to Rave Song Records in the house. See? My lifers are watching, waiting, setting the trap, preparing for the gain, right? Now you can move the stop loss into profit. And that's how you make sure you don't lose money. Look at that bounce there off 92K. And not watching the trade could be helpful too as well. So here's the deal. This is the 4-hour Bitcoin. So our bullish scenario. And this, you know, Bitcoin's hot right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if we have to hit 100K first before the real pullback. Just be open-minded to these two things happening today. Both of these are probable. The bounces on the small time frames will teach us. But by being open-minded and having this idea, then we could pan it out. So Bitcoin dominance doesn't look like it's going to give a lot back to the alts. It looks like it may even be coming for a bounce here and then continue right on its way. Like previous support is resistance. So now I was expecting to see a little more love there. Yeah, let me look at the bigger time frame. We called out that parabolic move too. I mean, right now I still see Bitcoin breaking out of the rising wedge. It's still got that measured move. Like it just looks like I see 100K for Bitcoin coming because the way Bitcoin dominance is saying, hey, I'm not done yet. Could even be in a rising wedge that's about to pump even and go parabolic. Now, some people think the rising wedge will drop and give the altcoins their love, but yeah, because resistance and support there flipped pretty close. That's strong, and you're still up above the dotted line. There's momentum here. I'd love to see the pullback for the altcoins, but I see Bitcoin ripping to like 100K first. All right. Nice little dump there for Bitcoin, and we've called this head and shoulder. The entry is here. The stop loss is in profit already, and you can't lose on the trade now. If you took the trade with the lifer, you're in the gains. Put a 333 up. If you took the short and you're making gains on the live on the right shoulder there, and God bless everyone that you know trusts in their abilities. Solana still in an uptrend, unless above 135. Yep. And one of the hot coins that I bought in the dippage too was going to be, you know, that awesome pump there for XCN. Let's take a look at what's happening for XCN. I got to look at tether dominance really fast. We want to see how much money is flowing in and out of Bitcoin compared to, yeah, so tether dominance still says no. Like, so Bitcoin dominance looks like it's going to continue. Tether dominance looks like it's going to drop. You got a double top here on tether dominance. People don't want to be heavy in cash right now. You know, cash was king a while back. Now it's time to be in some hot assets, right? That's just what the market is saying. Shout out to my 333 crew and everybody out here. The bot just entered along. It sees it. What is this? This is an algorithmic trading system. What is it? It's telling me that it just got in. My money is always working for me all the time. And if you want to learn more, there's a link here to Minotaur Trading. And what you're going to be able to do is sign up underneath the light for, you know, underneath me and my whole team. And so there it is right there, Minotaur. Sign up. They're going to have, basically you don't sign up, but you click here to get a call. You can hear what I say about the bot, why I use it. An algorithmic trading system, really. But it's unbelievable, man. And it's very accurate. It does amazing things. You can see it just entered right now. We'll see what happens. And it goes off all the time. I have my alert set. And so, yeah, you could, and I do get a commission from that if you jump on it. It is a high ticket sale. You know, it's definitely, it's not inexpensive. It's for high net earners. Funny, so we put XCN in this little flag yesterday or the day, I don't know when exactly, but I like the coin and I like what it's doing, and it gets the pump to the upside. I see it going to 34. Look for it to flag out on a smaller time frame, but that thing's got, it's got legs. On the 333 minute time frame, that thing has got legs. And we were buying it down here in the bearish movement, and we are in the money now on XCN. Wow, amazing. Let's take a look at TARS AI, TAI. I like this coin because it's backed by the Solana Foundation. You think it would get a little extra love and some pump action. I put it out to the trading group here saying it looks good to me, and it pumped beautifully. Already up about 36%. Still holding a gain of 31%. TARS, and this is something that we talked about. I went over, and look at that beautiful flag. And I trade flags. Look, measured moves. This stuff is just, you know, I'm the guy that proves that the traditional technical analysis does work. does play out. You got to just couple it with the right indicators, and at the right time, you got to know what you're doing. These also played out Monday night into Tuesday, which is like the hot time to trade. Now you're above the moving averages too here. Let's take a look at the 4-hour time frame. Above the 200 man, the 4-hour with the 21 crossing. It's a very bullish sign. TARS AI. And this thing was hot. And a lot of people like this coin too. And I wouldn't be surprised if some money from Bitcoin flows into TARS. High risk, high reward with the SR flip here. But you just got to remind yourself, above that 200 MA on the 4-hour time frame is a very bullish sign. Wouldn't be surprised if this little thing starts to rip again, and you know, you're headed back to 99 cents for TARS AI. Looks like it bottomed at about 2 cents. I mean, that's a 4x sooner than later. It's already up almost. It's up a little. It's up 300% or 200%. Yeah. And there you go, Bitcoin 91,966. The target is 91,400 for the short. This is BitNX. If you want a short on BitNX, I made it very simple because I can enter the trade and I can just slap the stop loss up and down, move it around. I got a tone too for it. It was awesome. And I really like trading BitNX for the free ease of use. So when I'm scalping the 1 minute, BitNX really makes it amazing and awesome. We also have an awesome campaign right now for BitNX that we don't always run. And I've been so busy, we got a lot going on, and I'm not that much of a shill. So it's hard for me to, but they're awesome to us and they're hooking us up. So I want to let you know. But if you get the trading volume, you jump on in, we're having a trading competition. All right. So 9,000, 20,000, 50,000, 90%. And you could jump on into the BitNX campaign. All right. And different things are going to be given to people that are inside just this link alone. All right. And there will be a prize pool if we get our volume to the highest prize pool. So the higher the prize pool, the more we'll get back. That's all. And we're getting more back than most people just because we're inside of my community. So just something that they're doing. Again, it's an incentive for them, of course, right? It's back and forth. But hey, if you're a good trader, there's something to take advantage of. Why get something back if you can get something back? It's like shopping points at a store. If you're going to shop at the store, if you're a great shopper, if you're one of those really good shoppers. How about that baby Colin? We haven't talked about it much lately. I still hold Colin. And someone wants me to check Sentio, right? Yeah. Look at that beautiful bounce for Bitcoin right there off 91.8. There's going to be people FOMOing in for Bitcoin. You have to remember that. They're going to be like, oh, I wish I got it. These are great prices. I could, I'm getting mixed signals. I'm scalping that short, but I got mixed signals. I wouldn't be surprised if we rip back up. I'm going to go to a new chart right now. I just need to see it clear again in my mind. It just happens to me sometimes the way it works. Yeah, so it looks like that was the right shoulder right there. We won't make that right shoulder. You see what I'm saying? So that kind of off the table. Now you just start setting kind of support and resistance levels. You can see you lose 91.6. I mean, we could drop fast to 88.5. There's some chunk there, though. There's some chunk right there. Just very oversold in that 1 hour time frame. And you're almost near that 786 money printer on the 1 hour, right? Look at that, though. It's still in action here. Stop loss moved heavily further into profit, but, more risk of it getting taken out. But that's what you do, right? Yeah, the 2 hour back to the 21, the 4 hour. I just feel like that 4 hours got to head back to the 21-day moving average. It's usually not a straight shot. Usually it kind of comes up and down a little bit. But it just looks like that's what we're going to have to see. It'll be awesome if we bounce here. And again, I don't have to make any crazy trade yet. I can scalp in and out until the bigger idea is made. I can calm myself down. 21 away from the 200 too is another idea there on that 4 hour that we're going to have some type of. You get in when we're tight. You sell when the 21 and the 200 are very far apart. You know, that old saying, right? That's not my saying, but tight, far apart. And this is really the strategy over and over again for every asset that we trade. We get in when it's tight. We sell when they're far apart. We get in when they're tight. And we just repeat this process throughout the entire market, looking for massive swing trades. And then amass beautiful compounding gains over and over again. That's the key. That's what I'm going to be doing. Man, get the likes up to the watcher. Dear Lord, thank you for the 630 beautiful likes, which I did receive. That's unbelievably amazing. Everyone that gave me that like is going to have tenfold karma today and throughout the week. It's going to come back to them. What a beautiful thing they did. You know, you can reach out. You have to reach into your pocket to tip somebody, right? But here, just click that button on the mouse. Like, it's so simple to send that karmatic energy back to yourself by being nice to another human. I make it very simple. So why not do it? It's there for you to take advantage of. Every time I'm nice to somebody, it pays. Something good happens to me. The energy I carry helps me be nice to someone else, who someone else notices, and then someone else notices, and then I'm attracting someone else that does that type of thing. And so then I'm around awesome people because I've been awesome. You get what I mean? Like, your behavior is what you attract into your life. You behave in a proper manner with honor and dignity and positivity, you're going to be around people that do that. You behave in kind of a lewd, nasty manner, you're probably going to be around people that are cool with you being lewd and nasty. And you're going to be around some lewd and nasty people. Maybe some people like that. They think it's funny. It's also immature. I was like that sometimes. I had some crazy friends that weren't the best for me. Everyone here has had friends that aren't the best for them. So look, we could be getting a bounce here now. A bit of bullish divergence here on the 1 minute. And look, I see I'm not getting chopped up. I'm not risking tons of money. Because look, they're playing games with this price action. They'll probably stop me out. And even if they pump it here and they keep dumping, I don't care. That was a good trade, technically. That was the measured move. You got more than you needed out of that trade. Watching your progress grow and evolve and get better and better every day is priming my subconscious to get better at timing with trading. Appreciate you, lifer. Yeah, man, every day we push to get better. Every day we fight, you know, and nobody's perfect. I never said I was, and I never aimed to be. What I can tell you is I'm going to push myself every day, and I'm going to give 100% effort every single day to making this channel and your learning experience the best I can possibly make it every single time you come here. I'm sure I go on tangents. I'm sure sometimes I'm not perfect, but I hope I hit it out of the park like 99% of the time. And that's my goal. That's just my goal, is to make this the best technical analysis channel ever made. They teach you how to trade any asset in the world, gives you the mental fortitude to keep going no matter when you hit losses, and tell you that you are your own worst enemy and your best friend, and that you have the power to become great. And it's all in you. Everything is in you. The second you blame anything else but you, you've lost control. I don't want to see you lose control. I want to see you stay in control your whole life. And you have that ability. God is there for you. He's talking to you all the time, whether you want to hear him or not. God has a plan for who you are to become and where you're going in life. And he believes in you. I believe in you. Believe in yourself. You deserve it. Be your best friend. You deserve it. See what I'm saying? Like, you deserve to be good to yourself. So what happened in the past? So I know you may not have done everything right. I didn't either. But we must let go. It's over now. It's time to stay in the present moment. The more we stay in the past, the more we cannot build in the present. And when you're not in the present, you become depressed. It's funny, the word depressed comes from the idea that you're de-associating from the present. The word present's in there, right? You're de-associating from the present. You're depressed. When people are depressed, they're usually thinking about something that happened in the past, aren't they? What did I do? Why did this happen to me? I should have never lost my job. Why did I say those things at that meeting? How come I got drunk at the company party? Oh my God. And then they're depressed. Depressed is being disassociated from the present moment. We can't be depressed when we're in the present because we're grateful for the moment that we're in. And when you're full of gratitude, you're full of love. When you're full of love, how can you be depressed? So by constantly formatting the ability to stay present, we can also fight depression. You understand? Unbelievable, right? So look at this inverted head and shoulder for SNEC. I see SNEC doing damage. I really do. Cardano hot. Stop loss for SNEC somewhere below. Right there. Below, right there. Below 0, 0. So many numbers, right? Below 0.002456 for SNEC. Right? And then pump all the way up to that 200-day moving average here. And then possibly all the way even further. So, yeah. XRP is another one, please. And thank you. Deep rest. Amen. Can you look at Filecoin? It's an old one, yeah. Damn, what happened to that dude that got... I know, exactly. I know. This guy said, I got into SNEC very early. Like somewhere down here, so you're still up on SNEC. Hey, it's like the premier little baby coin of Cardano. So if you like Cardano, SNEC should prevail over time. If Charles keep tweeting, Charles keep doing his thing, I see SNEC making a move. Headed to the 200 May. I like Tau for the long term. Bit tensor. And there it is, breaking out of the double bottom. We talked about it there too in that right shoulder. Just a few days back, I gave it a 260. It ripped the 359. Again, it's likely to flag out here. But now this is the hot altcoins are going to take market share. This thing looks like it's going to continue to rip. Likely above its 4-hour 200 MA and making a flag. See, yeah. So that's just what you want to see. You want to see this thing continue to flag out above the 4-hour 200. And what's going to happen is people that are up in Bitcoin took leverage trade. They're going to move that money into the hotter coins. And those coins are going to get bigger and better. I see this thing ripping. And soon it'll be 450 and people are going to wish they got in. And it is what it is. But hey, I see BitTensor making a move. And Centio, SEN, USDT. Centio protocol here. And yeah, that thing's ripping. I got stopped out in a tiny profit and it's back here. So look, boom. So dump on the descending triangle, ripped back up. Chance Bitcoin gets some love here today. And again, I could trade my model if we get back above the 5. Likely it could even pump straight up. You're looking for this to make an inverted head and shoulder, which it looks like it's making. For a bigger move to the upside. Exactly. Bitcoin moving. Bear trap. My mouth gets me in trouble. Been working on it. No one knows exactly what's going to happen. Yeah. I've heard it. A depressed person needs deep rest from the life they're living because it doesn't support them anymore. I mean, you get a deep rest. I don't know. I don't want to be deep resting until I'm dead. You know, I wouldn't use that for any reason. You got to make a change. You got to stop living low frequency. When you know something's pulling you down and hurting you, you got to get away from it. Amen. All right. Interest at 149, of course. Ondo's hot too. Look for this inverted head and shoulder. 1 minute to get back above the 200 MA. And then we rip ski again. Look at that beautiful wick back to the upside. So you can see that there's some love here for Bitcoin. 7 minute back above the 200. Attempting. So let me get rid of this bigger idea. We don't need it. And let's kind of hone in now. This is what I do. I don't know what's going to happen, but by not knowing, I'm always on this quest. Through this quest, I find things out. And we get to the bottom. And I'm open-minded too, so I do some wacky stuff that normal people wouldn't do. Look, that could create a beautiful inverted head and shoulder, no? And yes, someone's like, well, why wouldn't you buy right here then? And because then you have to wait through it, but right there is going to be a real... See, I don't need to get the most gains. I need to get the most consistent gains. Make sense? So if this right shoulder was more likely to pump than this up in here, then I'm just going to trade this right shoulder and give up this little bit of gain there that I don't need to, and then take this to here. So you don't have to be aggressive every time is my whole point, right? I take the least aggressive trade as much as I can. I take the more concrete trade. Now, the old me would take every aggressive trade constantly. That's my P&L would show that, like it would be a little more rocky. Now, I only take the more concentrated likely trade, Look, this is something that can play out. And you want to be ahead of the, this will play out and then I'll be able to trade it. If I don't project it, then no, it's not happening. And this is how I believe to use, because I studied quantum, you know, the double split theory. And this is the double split theory right here. Like when we watch it, it happens. When it doesn't, it doesn't. So we want to see this play into ourselves, right? Your show, Ben, average in ADA, H bar, render, Ondo, ICP for 3 years, 10K up and 50%. My goal was 60K. But first sell levels, which I hit, would be 60K. Setting the bar too low, first level 8 at 1.8. Ondo 54, Ondo 3, Ren 29, ICP 39. Thank you. I mean, it's a lot to take in right now. And again, I wouldn't tell you what to do with your money. So just keep watching the channel. And if I go over those certain coins, you know, Cardano 180 ain't bad. I mean, I'd like to get out of $3, but you know, we'll see. We'll see. So I put out the way I want trades to play out, and I only take them if they play out that way. This could easily bend down and drop here. It can make kind of a shoulder head, a right shoulder there. Like, I'm open-minded. I'm not saying I know what's going to happen, but I know how to play it, and I can see things other people can't see. I know that. I know I have a vision and a gift of some type of gift, because I knew a lot of people that knew about Bitcoin like me. I knew a lot of people that were in the same trading group as me, but they didn't become the crypto lifer. And it was something different about the way I saw the charts that got me in this position, right? And so you got to be different. You got to be, you know, and what I'm teaching now is something way different than anything about technical analysis. This is about being successful, but like, don't be afraid to be different. You know, learn everything in your profession, but go your own way and be different. Be so different that nobody could even compare you to anybody else. Have such a unique system and such a unique way of doing things that they can't steal it from you, man. I know people that replicate what I do, and everyone can see, like, you're doing what Sam's taught. That's Sam. Like, you're doing Sam stuff right there. You know what I mean? And again, my stuff is really just the charts. When I die, people will realize I just gave them the charts back to themselves. That's all. I'm just giving you the chart back to yourself. The observer effect. Exactly. I think Clanker just bottomed out. Hey, Sam, what do you think of Harmony 1? Did it have potential this cycle? It's such an old coin. You see what I'm saying? I think it could possibly run, but I don't know, man. I wouldn't have a lot of faith in it. But it possibly could go. Thank you to all the super chats. We're ripping through them today, really getting to them. So, Sentio Protocol. Look at that beautiful cup. Got above the 200 MA on the 4 hour and ripped. Hey, starting to kind of come back from the did. And a lot of these coins may come back. It's battling Bitcoin right now, right? What Bitcoin does, but it is making a flag. It's got a little bit of lack of volume, some up and down movement there. The spread's a little loose. But I mean, watch it consolidate. Let's get a bounce and get tight. If Bitcoin tanks, this thing will fall down. And it'll like head and shouldery. But if Bitcoin gets tight, and then if Bitcoin goes sideways, you can get the pump. So you want Bitcoin to go sideways or pump. And you're going to see Sentio back at 0.8288. I would watch this flag, though. Good chance it does break out to the upside. Sentio. Please tell me your opinion on Blue Zell. I got into Blue Zell years ago. I traded in like 2019. They don't really, a couple little swing trades, this and that, nothing. I don't know. It's been around a long time. Said they were going to do a lot of things. I don't know. Never really came to fruition for me personally. I got this giant cup and handle on it. Funny, I do have TA on it, and it's technically bottomed. I'd stay away from it personally. I think enough is enough with that coin. But hey, some people are going to get sucked in, and you never know. But I'd be looking at the weeks of just, it doesn't really do a lot of marketing. I haven't heard enough about it. I could be wrong. I don't want to put anybody down. For me, it hasn't been in my mind a lot. I haven't seen a lot of it, right? Bitcoin getting a beautiful bounce here. Back to the upside. Now it's got to make a flag, right? And touch the 21. And see, I sound like a broken record. It must get boring, right? This guy is the same over. But that's how you win. And then you're looking for this to make an inverted head and shoulder. And there's your topping. And then the flag. And then the flag breaks out. You headed to 93,500 for Bitcoin. All right. That's what we want to see. And then we're back on track for the day. And then we can kind of like find that could be our daily bottom right there. We may have found the daily bottom at 91.8. 800s are strong when the market's retesting key areas. 800 is strong. 21-day moving average. Stokes kind of following suit with a little bit of a twist. So you're telling me there's a chance The 1 minute has been in a falling wedge since 9:37 a.m. Now seems to be breaking out. Farcoin bless me. Hope it blessed yo too. Thank you. Amen. Yeah. Sam, thank you for uniting so many people with building a community filled with positive energy. It's awesome, isn't it? 100%. 100%. People don't mind paying for a group that changes their lives. They'll remember it for the rest of their life. They'll never remember the $99. They'll remember the knowledge that they received. You know, we help people. We teach people. For everybody, 4% Bitcoin move up. That's 6 months. Spirax will do 75 volume days. We're looking to get feeling. I'm mostly waiting for that pump. That's a reverse head and shoulder in a cup and handle. It is. It is. This is supposed to be a pump here. Like, that's why I like BitToday. You can just be like, I should know my risk though. That's the only thing about sometimes you want to just like. So you build. And if it pumps before you build, then you lack patience. And this is where you ask, I'm testing my patience right now because I'm like, oh, like the green candle, you'll find out how much you kind of get sensed by price action. It'll be pushing or pulling you. And you got to just remain calm. You got to be at your own pace. I breathe deep and I tell myself to just chill. You know what I mean? Your mind races. It tells you, you get this impulse to do something. Got to chill out. 92322. Repeat the words back to yourself. Stop loss. Take profit. It's like a mantra for me. So because I have proper risk management, it kind of, I get set in my mind. It's like, okay. Again, this isn't my model. It tells me to be very careful. Very likely to lose doing this. I'm right here before the 200 MA. I trade up to the 200. I learned that I just had way better success not having to go so savagely at it like that, right? There we go, 100 for 300. We'll see what we can do. And again, this is highly aggressive. My mind tells me, but it is a Wednesday, so I could be a little more aggressive on Wednesday than I normally am. It is technically my model. The 21's touching. We're in a flag. Stochastics are bending. I waited for the bullish div and the kind of inverted head and shoulder. It's kind of a right shoulder in a way. But it's very high risk. We're very close to price action. Okay. Okay. There we go. So you just got to adjust that. I was like wondering. So it's like 118 for 337, 378 actually. Ain't bad. That'd be a nice take, right, to add to the day after I've already taken about $400 off the table this morning. And that little, like, whatever we did there, I don't know what that was, $10. I'm not even gonna Yeah, it did show you that a head and shoulder did play out. Shoulder, head, right shoulder, desetting. So you can see it in the chart before it happens. And now we're back at it the other way, just kind of flip-flopping around here. I like to see this thing pump. That's a nice little scalp. I like that scalp. First time I've taken my old model in a long time underneath the 200. It's very rare for me to do that. Funny. I've been, it's because I usually, a lot of times it loses and then I know I shouldn't have done it. So, but we'll see. There tends to be a bit of a reversal. There's some shorts that are, there's some money out there. XLM, one of my bigger trades in the trading group that I've given on the longer term idea, Stellar Lumens. And I really like that DCA zone there for Stellar. I think it's only a matter of time. XCN kind of front running the idea that these XRP coin, everything's going to rip. The new monetary system. Somehow Stellar's back in there with XRP, XCN. There's something going on there. And there's going to be some connection and some movement. And so, yeah, I definitely take a look. I like what I'm seeing for XLM, and that target's 77.99, 210%. That's a 2x coming. Bang, bang, bang. Bang, and Sammy's in the money now. Let's see if we can get this pump to the upside and show us how we do it. Rip all the way to the 200 MA, baby. Let's go. Let's go. I money printed it, man. Shout out to Master Friend. Shout out to my peoples. It's your strategy, bro. Go for it if you want to. Amen. Shout out to my Mohammed Alabasi official. And again, when you have a strategy, it's so you could be tired, exhausted, not know what's going on, but you just take what you see. You just take what you see. Deep breaths, detachment theory. Detach yourself. Say it's going to go the way it's good. I've already won the trade. I already won the trade. And we've got it. And we've got it. Blasting off to the upside here. Shout out to Arson. It's the only person that says the audio is cutting out. Someone says the audio is cutting out. It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, maybe I just need to be closer to the mic. It's all good. Audio cutting out. It must be just it must be could just be, you know, YouTube for a second. Is it still choppy? It shouldn't be. It's not choppy on my end. So if it's choppy, just reset your stream. Yeah. If it's choppy, reset your stream. It could be a server. What happens is a server, I've learned, gets knocked off somewhere, somehow. And then you got to reset. Yeah. Just refresh. It's good for some people, not good for others. It's all good. It's the Illuminati trying to take me out. You know what I mean? They don't like that I teach like gold. Yeah. Yeah, see, a bunch of people said audio is perfect as always. Yeah, exactly. It's nothing to do with me. Yeah. Just reset your stream, folks. Reset the stream, reset the stream, reset the stream. The audio is not my fault. It has nothing to do with me. It's playing fine on my end, playing fine for a lot of other people. Just got to reset the stream for yourself there. All right. It happens like it happened like 60 days ago. Same thing happened. Right. Exactly. They can't have the middle class making gains with the lifer, man. When the Google's up and everyone's ripping, they can't be like, this guy's giving perfect trades over here. We can't let him do that. He can't call the bottom. We're about to wreck everybody. You know what I mean? They all short of the market. Why is he long? It's you, man. You trying to knock me out? Them on the stream. You know, funny. I need to refresh the stream. I have it every time on the stream. That's crazy. Ingress could mess with your audio. Ingress. What does that mean? Yeah, sounds great. Shout out to Rave Song Records. My man. Prices, Sammy, 18 billion of liquidity below 76 billion, 76,000. That's funny. You make me laugh, man. One step at a time, Vegas Claw. One step at a time. You know, the daily would have to lose the 200 MA then you'll see me start talking about 76,000 liquidity. But really, I think it's almost like when it's like you're in a ship and there's an obstacle like 100 yards away and someone's trying to tell you about the obstacle that's like 500 yards away. And you're like, let's take care of the obstacle that's just 100 yards away first. And then we're going to go from there. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So we kind of mapped this out. We're looking for this bounce for Bitcoin. We've been getting it. And then we even looked at it the smaller time frame, and so far so good. And then I made the live trade in front of you that's up about $83, 7%. And starting to rip pretty nicely. First target would likely to 93.18, where we could take out, you know, maybe take some money off the table there at the 200 MA. You're in the money now on the trade with the lifer. Could even start to shave the stop loss. Right? And now what I love about it is the risk is $41. Right? So now I can't risk, I can only lose $41. I'm up $100. And so it's just, you know, I teach you really sound ways and smooth ways. Now you can even move the stop loss above. My stop loss is now in profit as Bitcoin rips. And now they're flattening the shorts to the upside unbelievably. And there's Bookmap. Link in the description below to Bookmap. I do get a little affiliate commission if you sign up to Bookmap. They do not sponsor the channel. Huge rip to the upside if you took the trade with the lifer. And that's a nice scalpelino right there. Right? And you saw me scalp earlier. Now, you know, that's a nicer trade. $150. We're getting far away from that 21-day moving average, telling me I should probably start to think about taking some money off the table here. Let that thing start to rip, though. I would love it to get to that yellow line. 177 now. I've locked in 135. Oof. Do they have like a second chart? like the 1 second chart. Is it possible? No. But look at that rippage though. Now 158. And those 2 wicks tell me we're likely going to come down to that 200 now. If that closes like a wick, unless we eat the wick up. But that's a beautiful scalp, like, you know, and again, yeah, I was going for $400, $500. But a lot of times I just take the gain there, especially on a day when I'm not doing my model. Now I can get back into my model when we get above the 200 man. I can use what I just made as my stop loss now, and I can risk 200 for 800 now. Or, you know, today's a day where I wait because I was already one up. Now I'm up again even more than I won earlier today. Remember, I woke up to gains and it did eat the wick. Watch that thing pump now. It should really rip to the 200 MA. I tend to sell early. That's something you will watch me do on this channel many times. But when people are watching you, it's way better to pay yourself. What if it all the way went down and I made no money? You know, it wouldn't be, you know, you got to pay yourself. But there it goes right to the 200 like it was supposed to. And that's what you're looking for. And there's the target one right there. I think I would have been up 250. And we do this on the channel all the time, live trading almost every single day. I don't even know how I pull it off. I honestly don't. Right, I show you guys how price action moves, and we find that could be the daily bottom right there. Turtle soup it. Like, I mean, and I get better at this every day. You get better at watching me doing this. You get good at it. Shout out to my mate. Shout out to my man, Master Friend. God bless my man, Master Friend. Looks like the long wick 1 hour candle closing green at 12 EST. Sammy, can you show the best way to add to your position? Yeah, I would just like zoom in and I'd add more, you know. I'd open and, you know, I'd have to set my, just like here, you go to open and you just limit in, you add more. Yeah, that's all. Super chat, desync. And look, I went against, that's my old model right there, man. I trade that all the time. I used to trade this daily. It actually it reminds me of Master Friend, because that's when I first met Master Friend before I started using the 200 so religiously. But I just used the 21 on the low Stokes and they played out a lot. Now this cracks the 200, it's going to go even, it's going to go woo, true to roof. I sell early, but I pay myself, right? So that's what it is. Funny, man. Okay, a super chat for desync is the last thing I see. Sam, still taking a look at Filecoin. I don't think so. Why did I have to? Someone asking me about Filecoin? No. Altcoin's kind of a boring coin, man. To be honest. Didn't even really pump with the rest of the market too much. Yeah, it's the weekly, so I guess it did a little bit. But it's like below its lows. I don't know, man. This thing's got to get back above its previous, you know, support. So once it does that and retest $3, then possibly I'd take it seriously. But, you know, I can't. Let's take a look at DSync, DSYNC, USDT here. The Destra Network on Mexi. And now you know why we have 2,326 beautiful souls here on the live watching all the way up until 12 o'clock, because this is the stream. This is the place to be. This is where people want to learn how to trade. This is where live trades are made. Almost every, you know, live trades Saturday night, Sunday night. You're going to see all sorts of stuff. And I called 84,000. I do long-term trading, right? I buy Bitcoin for the long term. I short-term scalp the 1 minute. Heck, I've been on the 1 second. I can also teach you how to look at the monthly. We do the monthly candle close every month. We do the weekly candle close. Like, we're on it for you. We nail it. We take no days off. 7 days a week this channel goes, and there's no day off since February of 2021. We're here to show you the way. We want to show you work ethic. We want to teach you how to win. Not by saying anything, by showing up every day. A man could do so much more with his actions than his words. Possible inverted head and shoulders. Struggling, though. Alex Becker talks this up a lot. Had a lot of people into it. You know, it is at the bottom. It's a hot, you know, you would say, assume it's only a matter of time, and it's a great buy to buy here on the lows and wait. High risk, high reward. So, hey, if you believe in Destra, You've liked it from the jump. I mean, this is a great price. I don't know if I don't believe it that much. I think it's more risk. I'd like to just let it get above 31 and I'll swing trade it to 50 and then leave it alone. Like, I'm not into buying the bottom anymore. I'm into swing trading the high volume. Yeah. Somebody says, if Lifer, you're the man, long time viewer here. Love the content. Just locked in gains from your knowledge. God bless you, bro. Thank you so much. The Osborns. Bitcoin bullish now. Hey, you never know, right? I mean, now it's about to flag and break above the 200 with the 21, right? The next idea. There's the next trade. Now, if it gets above the 200 with that 21, it's ripping. And so it's getting ready for a possible, and it broke above some local resistance. Not saying it's amazing here, but all about working the flag like clay in your hand. You're just working the clay. You don't know exactly how it's going to form. You just keep working it. You just keep working it. You just keep working it. Working that clay in your hands. Someone said Trump coin was pumping. It looks like it's doing damage right now, huh? Wow. Did it go to 12? Wow, I just ripped from 6 to 12. Did 100% gain out of nowhere, right? I feel like this coin ain't ever going to end, you know? It's funny. I'm doing this strange backtesting theory that is an Adam and Eve double bottom. You see? You just can't see it. It's like hidden. It's a slanted hide. And then it's going to rip. It did just break above the resistance, right? That long-term resistance. And to me, I don't care what the coin is, what the project is. It's all about the 200 MA. Gets above the 200 MA, it's gone. I mean, look at that thing. Gone, right? So you look at your 15, it probably flagged above a 200 at one point. And there it was flagging near or on the 200. And the thing popped, man. And then it went even higher, right? A lot of coins look just like this. It didn't matter to the coin. Like, Brett looked like this too. Let's see if Brett made the gains it was looking for. I put Brett out. Brett looked really nice, but I'm not sure exactly how it played out. Yeah, it hit the target exactly. Like, look at that. Nailed Brett. So if you took the Brett call, you absolutely... There's so many calls. Sean, you really got to... Sean, I need the team. I need you and the coachy to sit together and go through... I need someone to do this, and this is what I need. That's not what I need. This is what has to happen. Not what I need. This is what has to happen. You and the coachy need to Zoom together at one point, and you guys need to go through every single chart that I put out. He needs to then rechart it. You need to see the gain or find it from my stream, and you guys need to do a great job at the gains. Because there's so many gains out here that are being missed because we got to be thorough. It takes two of you to go on a Zoom call and really get locked in. A little more time has to be spent on this. Otherwise, I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to have to go through every single one of these. And that's a waste of my time. And you guys can chart. You guys know how to draw the same lines as me. And you can show the percentage. And you guys I need both of you guys to work together. I need Sean and the coachy to work together. And you guys, it's going to take an hour or two. It's going to take focused energy. It's not as easy as it's been. And bang out these gains for me, please. Because there's so many that got hit. And if I have to go through every one of them, I can't find more. All right. Okay. All right. I just see gains that aren't done yet, though. So, I mean, I just want to make sure you guys are, spot on. Like, get the JASMY gain, the Alluvium gain, right? The AIXBT gain, the one I just showed here, the Brett gain. Like, there's like 10 of them. Yeah. I just don't see them out yet. That's all. That's all. I don't see it. He said they're already put out. I don't see them. Maybe, look. Immutable. Okay, maybe you're right. Farcoin. I don't see them. No, I don't see them at all. I don't see any of the ones I just brought up. Not one. Yeah. I don't see AXBT. I don't see Brett. I don't see them. No. I don't believe it's been done correctly, as has been told. I would like a more thorough job. I want someone to go through every single post I made for the last 4 days, 3 days, match up the chart, really spend an hour and a half to 2 hours just going hard, if possible. And maybe it has been done, but the links just haven't been posted yet. I just don't see them. No worries. I'm just, She said AXBT is in there. Thank you. And maybe they're all been done. I'm a hard man. She said AXBT is in there. Do you see it? There it is. Yeah. I got it. But they're not. I don't see Brett. I don't see Brett. I don't see the sweet call that I gave last night where it was in the rising wedge that it broke to the upside. I see Casper. Good job. But there's a lot more that had. There's more in there. That's all I'm trying to say. Yeah. I love each and every one of you, man. God bless everybody here on the live. Thanks for everybody here, and thank you for coming through. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here, and I love you. I appreciate you. I just want a little more thorough time on the gains. That's all I'm asking for. As the CEO and a boss, that's all I'm asking for. Everybody, I love you. I appreciate you, and thank you so much. And I appreciate all the hard work. I just want to make that very clear. My team works extremely hard. But if I don't say anything, we'll miss it. And I used to kind of let things slide, and there were so many different gains. So, yeah. And I'll forget because I want to go find the next gains. I don't want to sit there and find out what I already hit. I want my team to do that for me, please. And I want to get every single one that I hit. I don't want one missed. If I can, please. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Like this one right here that I don't see there. Anyway. Thanks, Sammy. Dump it to 90 and bounce. Amen. Yeah. Liver, please share at least 1% of these calls for free. I share many of them. I got you, Liver. Thank you. Liver, thank you, Coachy. Yeah, more detail than we did in the last 6 months. A little more. Just a little more detail, a little more effort. That's all. That's all. You'll see. You'll notice when you add that little extra time, you'll notice. You'll be like, okay, I got it. I see what he's saying. You'll see. You'll see. You'll be in my mind, and we'll be together, locked in. God bless everybody here. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video, 12:09. I don't know how we do it every single day, but we did it again. We banged on them. We gave some good trades. We had some fun. Hey, it could have been worse. It was awesome. You know what I mean? I'm always really, really appreciative of every one of you. And thank you, Lukochi. Thank you, Sean. I want everyone to know I love you guys with all my heart. Everyone that works on my team. You guys are amazing. All right. God bless everybody here. And thank you so much. Remember, the secret to success is getting started. That's the secret. You got to start. People are afraid to get started, and 30 years go by and they're in the same place. They say they're going to do something, but they keep going to work. One day I'm going to start that job. One day I'm going to... And they see someone else do it, and they get a little resentful because they know in their heart they should have been doing it. They get nasty. They're not nasty at that person. They're nasty. They're mad at themselves, but they take it out on that other person. People take out their hatred on me all the time because I'm consistent and I'm out there every day. And so I'm an easy target, right? I'm a piñata to beat on. But that's okay. When you're out there, when you're a leader, when you do different things, expect the world to throw, to throw some resistance your way. That means you're on your way, right? When you're driving fast and making headway, the wind's going to be hitting your windshield, right? When you're sitting still and going nowhere, are you feeling any resistance? No. So if you feel resistance, hey, that only means that the world, is going to make you sharper, going to make you stronger. How do you get strong at the gym? Resistance against the muscle. We don't want it to be easy. We don't want everyone to love us. We want to keep pushing forward. I pray to God for strength. He gave me more problems to make me stronger.